Good morning. It is 6 a.m. and I woke up way too early. My name is Dana. I am a software engineer. I'm also a mom of 2 boys and a wife of 6 years. I am a practicing Catholic, so I'm going to walk you through my day to give you a glimpse of what it's like to be a Catholic working mom. Today is going to be an in-office day for me, and I'm going to be getting into the office by 9 a.m. But it is 6 a.m., so I'm just going to get an hour of work done, get my kids' lunch ready to help my husband out since he's going to be doing school drop-off, and then we're going to go to work. So, welcome to my channel.
The baby woke up and I had to nurse him back to sleep, so I ended up working on my bed and I got dressed afterwards and did my prayers for the crucifix as my morning offering. Luckily, the baby didn't wake up, so I went to wake up older brother and get him dressed for school. I was going to pack his lunch also, but my husband had already packed his lunch since he woke up early, which was super helpful. That way I was able to pack up my car and brace myself for a 1-hour commute to Palo Alto. On my way down, I listened to Mountains and Laws from the little office. Work this day was very different since we had people from out of town. So here you see my lunch, and we ended up having social hour and walk to Boba in the afternoon. And I ended up leaving the office around 3 o'clock to help with school pickup. That's one of the great things about working in tech in the Bay Area is that we can be pretty flexible with our hours if we want to, as long as we meet our mandatory meetings and any deliverable deadlines that we have. I do also stay on call during business hours just to make sure if any of my coworkers need a code review or if they need to pair program or any other support, then during those business hours is usually pretty mandatory to be available. After picking up my preschooler, I did end up doing 2 more hours of work in my home office, and the rest of the afternoon after 5 o'clock, I spent time with both of the boys and my husband. So it's really just keeping the kids fed and letting them play all afternoon until bedtime.
Yes.
Here I'm making Shanghai dumplings since my husband's side of the family is Shanghainese. It's pretty easy. You just steam it for 10 to 12 minutes because they're frozen, but they're so good. So I highly recommend for an easy dish to make. After that, we have bedtime routines. So they take a bath, brush their teeth, floss their teeth, and we do bedtime stories and evening prayers.
You want to read a book? How about this one? Is read when my prayers are said and when my head is sleepy on the lights off. Good night. I want to sit. It is 11:30 p.m. My husband and I just finished doing the basic house chores, which our weeknight minimum is to do 1 load of laundry, 1 load of dishes, sweep the floors, and wipe the counters. So just those are the bare minimum that we try to hit every day. But at the complete minimum is just doing the dishes and the laundry. While I was doing chores, I was doing my 30 minutes of prayer in the evening, and I usually watch a YouTube video, which would be either Cardinal Burke's Latin Rosary or Veronica Brand's Little Office of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Vespers and Compline. And then if I'm having a difficult day where it was more spiritual attacks and heavier in terms of stress, or maybe had a temper that day, and then I would do a devotion for St. Michael Chaplet and Gregorian Chant by John Shaw. So those are all on YouTube. Especially being a busy mom and working full time, I wish I could have more time to do silent, more meditative, uninterrupted prayer. But at the least that I feel like we could do at this season of life is to at least do prayer while I'm doing the chores and offering up any sacrifices and hardships to Jesus through that prayer. Because at least for me, that was a game changer when I started doing that every night. And it made my life a little bit better, helped me contemplate and think about and reflect on the day and to look forward on the next day. What I do want to do better is to also add an examination of conscience, and then in the morning to do Lectio, but usually I'm running through life. And those are the 2 things that I do definitely need to do better on, but I haven't had the chance yet. So hopefully soon. I'm working through it, but little by little. I do have worksheets that I've created for those that are in the shop, so I definitely need to use those personally in my life more. After this, I'm going to knock out another hour of work since it was more of a social day because we had coworkers from halfway across the world visiting. I didn't get a lot of development done because it was more important to socialize with people in person than it is to be heads down in the code. The one downside to that is it's great and awesome to be able to meet coworkers that you've only seen through a screen and to finally meet them in person. Our deadlines are still there and I still need to hit those deadlines, so sometimes I do have to fit in an extra hour or two of work after doing chores. That's pretty much it. So thank you for joining and I hope to see you again soon. Bye! Change of plans. We're gonna go watch some anime. But our play area is pretty messy, so we'll do it tomorrow.